What is culture? You might say it's art, people, traditions, and you would be right. A scholar might also tell you it's the manifestation of human intellectual achievement, but we prefer to say we are proud of what we have created. Across the land and sea, there is pride in this place and its people. We take pride in what we have created. Arrow-straight rows of potatoes, harbors so tidy they belong on the cover of a magazine. Even the wildflowers look proud in their place. Step inside our homes and you will see the same. We are welcoming and warm, and we certainly know how to have a great time. So what is it about this place that makes the culture so rich and diverse? Like seeds on our Red Island soil, warm hearts inspire the wildflowers to grow. And for that, we are proud.
A hungry feeling came on me stealing, and the mice were squealing in my prison cell, and the L triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. To begin the morning, a screwy lay bawling, get up, you bowsy, and clean out your cell. And the L triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. Now as I lay sleeping, the gossie lay peeping, then I lay weeping for my girl Sal. And the L triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. And in the female prison there are 70-odd women, and amongst them I wish I did dwell. And the L triangle went jingle jangle all along the banks of the Royal Canal. Of the Royal Canal.
So the first thing that strikes me is how lucky I was to find PEI. I was touring the Maritimes and then I happened upon PEI and I just didn't want to leave. It's so similar to Ireland in its well, we could use a mountain or two, but like in its beauty, its history, the people, you know, just everything about it. It's a small community that has a massive heart, and I just instantly felt like I was at home, you know, instantly. And I just love it that it's modern, yet it's so beautifully not modern as well, but not in a negative way, in a beautiful way. Yeah, I think, again, being from Ireland, we have a long history of story through song and that oral tradition being handed down. It's the same here. So, and I love, my passion is telling a story through a song. So when I got to PEI, it was just a treasure trove of the same kind of thing here, like stories being handed down through song, through fiddle tunes, through dance, like everything. So being able to touch and reach community in such a way, just doing something that I love is absolutely incredible, absolutely incredible. And the deep history of community here is just, there's no finer way of connecting with that than through story and song and dance and fiddle. I still love that PEI it cares about its people, right? We only have to look at what happened when 10,000 people went marching for the Black Lives Matter. It just constantly amazes me. It relearns, it rethinks, it's just, and it cares for people. That's what I love most about PEI, and that's a traditional thing.
My name is Tim Chasen, and I am originally from Bear River, PEI. I think PEI is special for many reasons, and not only because we're the smallest kind of province in Canada, but there's just the history of PEI is pretty special with all the different people that have come here, and it's a bit of a melting pot as far as cultures go, and music and art, and the traditions have been kept really well as far as music and art goes, and just the laid backness of people here, and the slow way of life, which is especially ringing true more lately. But it is a special place, and it's I'm grateful that I have the chance to travel all over the world playing music, and when you're from PEI and you meet someone else from PEI, it doesn't matter where you are, or if someone from the East Coast in general, there's just special bond that you instantly have, and and that's pretty cool. I don't know if you can say that about many other places, but it's everyone's kind of has each other's backs here, and I love it here. I always thought, growing up, you kind of think, oh, I can't wait to get out of here and whatever, but you soon realize when you start to travel how special it is here and how beautiful it is, and it is a special place.
Let it breathe, if it doesn't breathe, it's gonna die. Let it see, if you let it be, is it gonna fly? Set it free, and if it leaves, we say goodbye. The web we weave, and then we grieve, and then we cry. I wanna tell you before I forget, you're doing well, you're living it. You're gonna make it no matter how hard it gets. Despite the darkness, some of these days in winter green, I can outshine your radiance. Winter green, I've undermined your salience. Winter green, I love you more than anything. Winter green, despite the darkness, some of these days. Let it go, but you should know you're on my mind. Let it flow, brace the ever-changing tracks of space and time. And if you grow beyond the world that we define, just let me know that you're gonna be alright. I wanna tell you before it's too late. You had it all going on right out of the gate. You never faked it or phoned it in. Despite the darkness, some of these days in winter green, I can outshine your radiance. Winter green, undermine your salience. Winter green, I love you more than anything. Winter green, despite the darkness, some of these days. Ooh. Winter green. Way up and the way down, one and the same. I'm calling an audible, late in the game. And if love is everything, then love is pain. But certain spirits are too bright to be tamed. I can't outshine your radiance or undermine your salience or redefine your sentience. Despite the darkness, some of these days in winter green, I can't outshine your radiance. Winter green, undermine your salience. Winter green, I love nothing. Winter green despite the darkness, some of these days. Winter green. Winter green.
On the Acadian side of my family, there's people like to have kitchen parties and invite people over to the house for a good time. Of course, there wasn't always a fiddler that could show up, and people wanted to dance. So sometimes they had to do what they call jigging the tune, a little bit of mouth music, to kind of cover for the fiddle. So that's the inspiration for this next song, a little song called Tittle Spree. Well, that's what they called the name of this party, a Tittle Spree. And it's just when you do a bit of mouth music. So this is the Tittle Spree. Instead of fiddle, we got the electric guitar. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dum diddle diddle do ride diddle diddle dum diddle 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 dum diddle diddle do ride diddle diddle dum diddle doodle diddle. Played some very fine fiddle, but he's grown old now and his hands are brittle. So Grandpa sits in the kitchen and diddles, come a hi-yi-diddle-i-day. With a hi-yi-diddle just a jig in the tune, and the i-ri-riddle start filling the room. There's a wee little fella bouncing around on his knee, no fiddles at the Tittle Spree. When Grandpa was a wee little lad, they had no fiddle in the old homestead. Once the family went to bed, he'd be off to the old barn dance. He was far too young to dozy-do, so he'd sit out and listen by the hall window. Diddle right along to every note, come a hi-yi-diddle-i-day. With a hi-yi-diddle just a jig in the tune, he'd follow that fiddle with a bit of talloo. Just a wee little fella from Lackadie, no fiddles at the Tittle Spree. Saved up his pocket change, he bought himself a fiddle, learned how to play. To the barn dance stage he made his way, while the folks danced down below. Now he fiddled so hard that he broke a string, but he thought why not, and as quick as a wink he gave a little diddle and they kept dancing, come a hi-yi-diddle-i-day. With a hi-yi-diddle just a jig in the tune, and the i-ri-riddle started filling the room. Everybody dancing at the chevaree, no fiddles at the Tittle Spree. Played some very fine fiddle, but he's grown old now and his hands are brittle. So Grandpa sits in the kitchen and diddles, come a hi-yi-diddle-i-day. With a hi-yi-diddle just a jig in the tune, and the i-ri-riddle start filling the room. There's a wee little fella bouncing around on his knee, no fiddles at the Tittle Spree. With a hi-yi-diddle just a jig in the tune, and the i-ri-riddle start filling the room. There's a wee little fella bouncing around on his knee, no fiddles at the Tittle Spree. At the Tittle Spree. Woo.
So the College of Piping and Celtic Performing Arts of Canada is a gem tucked away in Summerside in PEI. It's been there for 30 years now and is going strong. We've got students that come to the college every week from all over the island, and we've got people that come in online from as far away as Saudi Arabia. So they check in here on PEI. Now, piping and dancing and fiddling, of course, are part of the cultural fabric of this island and of the region. We know Highland piping was going strong in Scotland in the 1400s. Highland dancing was definitely taking off after Mary Queen of Scots and through later on. And it came to PEI. We know that there was piping at least as early as the 1800s here, but it's never been stronger as it is now. It's hard to go anywhere on the island in the summertime without hearing some pipes or drums. So maintaining tradition, definitely in a place like Prince Edward Island, is important to remember where we've come from. Everything that we do at the College of Piping is maintaining the traditions, but helping it to evolve to stay current, and that's really what we as islanders need to do as well. Stick true to your roots, move with the times. Our music and our dance is a symbol of that, of what we should all be doing here in PEI.
Kwe, Jalasi, and Deloisi Julie. Hello and welcome. My name is Julie. I am so proud and pleased to be a part of this entertainment for you today. I will be sharing a few stories that I hope you will enjoy. Walaleo, thank you. Long ago, there were two young girls who lived in the village with their father, and their job was to go out into the woods and collect firewood. Well, one day, as they were looking for firewood, they went a little bit too far into the woods, and they got lost. And being lost in the woods back then meant you had to make camp and stay where you were for the night. And then you would either have your parents come and find you, or you would be able to tell by the light of the sun which direction to go home. So they decided to be wise, and they made camp right there in the woods. And as they laid down and stared up at the beautiful night sky, they saw the stars starting to pop out of everywhere, and these beautiful stars. And the older sister looked up and went, I am going to marry that star. It has a beautiful, proud Mikmaq nose. I am going to marry that star. Now, the younger sister wasn't sure where her older sister was going with this, but decided, hey, I'm going to do this too. So she looked up at the night sky and looked and went, I am going to marry that star. It has big brown eyes like our Mikmaq brothers and sisters. So I'm going to marry that one. So they both rolled over and got comfortable for the night. But when they opened their eyes, they were not in the same spot where they had been camping. They looked, and they were almost in a thing like a cave. And they saw two men with their backs turned towards them at the entrance of the cave. And the one man turned around very slowly. And the craziest thing was, his whole face was nothing but a great big nose. He went, who "Who are you?" And he said, "I am your husband. You wished to marry me last night, so I went and got you." And the second man slowly turned around, and all he was two great, big, brown eyes staring at them, blinking. "Who are you?" said the second sister. "I am your husband. You wished to marry me last night." Well, the girls started to cry, and they held on to each other. And the two men looked at each other and said, "Well, this isn't really a good way to start our wedding. We're going to let you calm down, and we're going to go hunting, and we'll bring you some wonderful food. That might cheer you up. And the only thing we ask is the rock in the middle of our lodge. Don't move it. Don't touch it. Leave it alone." Now the two girls, huddled and crying on each other, both sort of glanced at the rock just a little bit, and they nodded their heads, and the two men left to go hunting. Now, over the hours and minutes that they were waiting, the sobs started to dissipate, and they started to disappear, and then they started to look at that stone in the middle of the floor, and slowly they moved closer and closer and closer, and soon they were pushing and struggling with the rock just to move it just a little bit, and as they moved it, they looked down, and they could see the sky underneath them. And when they looked really hard, they could actually see the place where they were camping that last night. "We are up in the sky. How will we ever get home?" And they started to cry again, and it was just then that the two men returned, and they had food for the women to prepare, but of course the women were just way too distraught. And they looked at the hole in the floor, and they said, "Well, I just want you to be happy. You're our wives. I don't know what we can do for you. Maybe what we can do is, if you really want to go home, we'll let you." And they both stopped crying just enough to say, "Yes, that's what we want to do. We just want to go home." So he said, "Okay, well, you're going to go to bed tonight. You're going to cover your heads. And you cannot uncover your heads until you hear 3 sounds. Now, the first sound you're going to hear as the morning starts to creep in is the sound of an eagle. Ah! Ah! Oh, and they said, okay. And the second sound you're going to hear is the sound of a bear. Okay. And the third sound you're going to hear is a crow. Caw-caw! Caw-caw! Okay, they said, so cover your heads. But if you don't listen to us, bad things will happen, so you have to keep your head covered. And they both nodded and agreed, and they laid down and covered up their heads. But, of course, when morning started to come, they could feel the rustling under their blankets, and they knew that they were moving. Now, the oldest sister was not really sure that she trusted these two men that were their husbands, so she was getting a little nervous, and then she heard the first sound, which was an eagle. Ah! Oh, okay. So they knew that they had the first sound. And then the second sound was the bear. Now the older sister got worried that maybe this was another trick and bad things were going to happen. So she decided to peek, and instantly she disappeared from under the blanket. Now the second sister waited, and she heard the third sound, which was the crow. Caw-caw! Caw-caw! And then she felt the blanket land on the ground ever so softly. She lifted off the blanket and she looked, and she was in the exact spot where she was the night before. And she looked around, and next to her was just an empty blanket. Sister? Sister? Where did you go, sister? And then just as she looked up, because the sun was just starting to rise over the horizon, she saw a star flying across the sky. And as it was flying across the sky, she faintly heard, "Sister." That was her sister. Her sister had peeked under the blanket, and now forever she will be a shooting star across the night sky. So if you are ever out late at night and you so happen to see one of those shooting stars shoot right across the sky, listen really carefully, because you might hear that older sister say, sister. And that is the story of the shooting star, or so the story goes.
Hi, I'm Logan Richard, and this is my tune called Running. If I were to run away, would you come after me, after me? No, I don't wanna leave the party, baby, no, no. But I've gotta go home. Oh, what do you want me to say? What do you want me to do? I can't help myself, I'm falling out of love with you. I'm still here all on my own, still staring blank at my phone. I don't know what to do, I'm falling out of love with you. Yeah, I didn't see this coming. Yeah, I would have started running long ago. Who knew that we were nothing? Yeah, I would have started running. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the one and only Vince the Messenger.
Yeah, yeah. I ain't tryna leave the party, I just really don't need nobody banging all on my back. I know you tryna get close, no, my heart ain't intact. You caught me doing the most, no, I'm guilty of that. She never wanna be long, she always out with her friends. Missed calls on my phone, but no, I can't ring you back. I spent time on my own now for too long. Now my love is half off like coupons. It's never right, we tried though, we too wrong. If love lost, we pack up and move on. I was Stevie to it, I ain't see a damn thing. She like the single ladies wishing for a gold ring. I like your spirit, baby, but the feeling don't change. My heart too cold, you ain't got enough flame.
I'm tired of telling everyone that we're on again, off again. No, I don't want it to end, baby, no, no. But I've gotta move on. Oh, and at the end of the day, there's still not much I can say. I don't know what to do, I'm falling out of love with you, baby. Yeah, I didn't see this coming. Yeah, I would have started running long ago. Who knew that we were nothing? Yeah, I would have started running. I didn't see this coming. Yeah, I would have started running long ago. Who knew that we were nothing? Yeah, I would have started running.
Kwe, Jalasi, Undeloisi Julie. Hello and welcome. My name is Julie. I am just part of the Mikmaq Heritage Actors, and we are so pleased and so proud to be here to share our songs with you today. Now, we have a song called The Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women Across Canada, and the significance behind me of the red dress is that we put that red dress out for those women who are still lost and still missing, or were murdered by a significant other or somebody they don't even know. But those dresses are the dresses that could have been worn by those missing women. And so when we put up that dress, we acknowledge the women that are lost. And we hope that someday this will end. We wanted to make sure that we keep the conversations happening, but we also hope you enjoy. Walalio, thank you.
My name is Donov. I grew up in Fort Erie, Ontario, and moved to Prince Edward Island in the fall of 2013. Part of what makes PEI special is that it's small. It works for it as a blessing and a curse, but PEI at its best is when it recognizes that it's small and leans into that. When you love music, whether you're a listener or a musician yourself, I mean, you can always turn to it. It has something to offer, and sometimes it comes from the song itself. Sometimes it helps you look inward. But yeah, it's like a friend. People come here probably to visit. You know, it's known as a tourist destination, and I think people come here because it is its own unique place with its own culture and history, and you know, it's always changing, but it doesn't change quite the same as a big mainland city or a hub like Toronto changes. It has its own pace and its own style of change. Sometimes, you know, maybe it's not as fast as some people would like, sometimes it's faster than people like, but it does its own thing. And I think that is part of what makes a small island, and it's part of the charm. Right now, it's not really on a record yet. I don't know. I think it'll be called Nights and Days. But it was just about going home and seeing an old friend, and you know, our lives had changed, and just a lot of things came sort of flooding back into my mind, and that's what the song became. You know, we were in different places at different stages, and we never lined up. Yeah.
What's new here on the scene? Never got around to that connection, you and me. And I hear what you refuse to say, and I agree. But we've both grown older, so it seems. How did we miss this in our teens? It's not like we pissed away all those good years in between. But it's life and kids, it's homes and jobs, it's bills and dreams. And we've just grown older, so it seems. Nights and days in separate ways, line all the dreams up with a plan. Each compromise so slight and wise, till we've forgotten where we stand. Never know just what it means, but like finding a crumpled up 20 in your favorite pair of jeans. Take this for what it is, and then a glad surprise is over, and we just grow older, so it seems. We just grow older, so it seems. We just grow older, so it seems.
I'm Carson McEwen. I'm part of Inecho, based here in PEI, comprised of Gorham Lemaines, Tuli Porcher, and Tom Gammons. Yeah, we play modern trad music. So the Banbridge Inn is where we used to do all our rehearsing when we were starting in our first year. So that's why we were called Inecho, because you could literally hear us outside if you walked by. We got a few noise complaints as well. Well, I have really, really deep family roots here. I'm from the western part of the island, although I am from Ottawa, born and raised. I used to come here the entire summer growing up. We have a cottage up west between Albert and Tignish. The day school was out, the next day we were in the car coming to PEI. I was playing the fiddle with family members all the time. The music community on PEI is really tight-knit, and it's just really concentrated. So I come from a larger city, Ottawa, and there's pockets, but they don't really mix. And here, every genre, you're gonna meet everyone involved. It's really, really, really sweet. I would say it's a huge part. The tourism is a really large industry here, and a lot of that happens around Kayleys all summer, concerts of every genre all summer. There's lots of festivals and everything like that, as well as throughout the year. You can almost find music every night of the week. We're really fortunate to live in an island that supports artists so much. We can really make a viable living here. It's pretty unique, I find, just because of the tight-knit community. Traditions is like, I think it's just filled with them. Lots of different types of barbecues, family gatherings, kitchen parties, sessions. That's just with my experience, because I'm very much in the traditional music scene. It's just so family oriented. It seems everyone just gets together and has a great time.
My name is Patrick, and I am an Islander. Once, I went to Toronto, or as we call it on PEI, the future. While I was up there, I went to a get-together, which is kind of like a party, except not as fun. While I was at the get-together, somebody asked me, "Do you know Joanne and Gerard Gaudet from Summerside?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do. Except their names are Joanne and Gerard Goody, and they're actually from Traveller's Rest. Nice try, but I'm an islander. And I ask my fair share of questions too. I'm a card-carrying member of the PEI Right to Know Association, dedicated to asking slightly inappropriate personal questions within the first 2 minutes of meeting anyone new. PEI stands for Privacy Ends Immediately. You should have been informed at the border when you were coming in. Oh, just the typical questions, you'll get used to it. How you doing? When'd you get back? What are you doing now? What are you making in that line of work? Who'd you have to know to get that job? You know, just the kinds of things when you've just met someone in the aisles of a grocery store. Or the most important question of all. Who's your father? I know it's not appropriate or timely, but we're going to ask you. I have to ask you. I'm nervous as a cat until I know that. I think if the Star Wars trilogy happened here in PEI, we'd have had the whole Luke's father thing figured out in about 5 minutes. No problem at all. Luke Skywalker, that's Darth Vader's boy. Skywalker's his mother's name. Don't you know that? 3 movies to crack one genealogical nut? Go away with you. I am an islander. Oh, when I say go away with you, I don't mean go physically away. I actually mean come closer and tell me more about someone who's not around right now. Oh, Ronnie's getting around with that Joanne one. Go away with you. Go away. People, to be accurate, sometimes do go away. Sometimes they go to Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia sends me pamphlets in the mail every week that say, Nova Scotia, shaped by the sea. Well, la-ti-da. I come from a province that's eroding by the minute. Shaped that by the sea, Nova Scotia. We're getting shaped a good deal more than you. Go away with you. I am an islander. I come from a gentle island with gentle breezes, able to gently sandblast all the hair off your legs. During a gently breezy day at the beach. I come back from the beach, I'm smooth as an egg. I've come to like it that way. And the winters, not too bad. As long as you scrape off your car right. And by right, I mean go out, look at your car, and scrape out 2 eye holes. And then drive fast enough on the way for the rest to blow off. That's not too bad. By the way, when you say not too bad, you say it at the right nostril. Not too bad. Not too bad. It should tickle on the way out if you're really getting it right. That's the unofficial motto for PEI. Not too bad. It captures our optimism that things aren't yet as bad as they possibly could get. Just wait until February when the wind's blowing up your pant leg and hurting your feelings. That will be a bit bad at that point. I'm an islander. When I say I'm coming over at dinner time, that could mean noon, or that could mean 7. Or that could mean I'm coming over any time between noon and 7 and still expecting you to feed me. And I call fries a salad, and I call ketchup a spice. I'm sorry, I'm an islander. When tourists ask me, do you live and work here year-round? I say, well, those are 2 separate questions. I am an islander. Oh, and you know that book bag that you bring to school? We don't call it, a notebook. We call it a kit bag. Again, out the right nostril. Kit bag. And what's in your kit bag? We call them scribblers. Yes, Hilroy scribblers with a map of Canada on the front, missing the province of Prince Edward Island. Oh my goodness, in grade school looking at the front of Hilroy scribbler, and I was missing from geography class. Good education, terrible good, awful good, desperate, wicked good altogether, wah. I am an islander. I come from a place with the reddest roads this side of heaven. If I ever get to heaven, I think I may recognize the place. I come from a place with the warmest waters north of Florida and the coldest thing you've ever felt south of your belt. I come from the smallest province with the longest name. You gotta say it like we say it here. We do it in 3 parts. Prince, our island. Then you run it all together like your mouth is full of russet Burbank potatoes. Prince Edward Island! Prince Edward Island! My name is Patrick, and I am an islander.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Liu. I'm from China, and this is my friend. It's a Chinese traditional lute. We call it pipa. Yeah, it has 4 strings, and it has 2,000 years history. It's originally from Central Asia, and it came to China along with the Silk Road. Many people know that it's famous, like a revolution or business thing, and it's really well developed in China. Now it became the king instrument in Chinese traditional musical instrument. The song I chose named Yi Dance, and it's a happy song, it's a festival song. The reason I chose it because I have been here for 2 years and I get chances to know how people are leading their life here. And the community, I feel just like this song, no matter what happens, no matter who has something like in trouble or to celebrate, people will get together to celebrate and support each other. And this song started gradually, like people get together from all places, and under the beautiful moonlight, girls started to dance and then join the boys, and then everyone joined the festival, the thing, just like the Charlottetown Diversity Festival. And yeah, that's what I feel about the community here. Yeah.
Allô, je m'appelle Emmanuelle Leblanc, je fais partie du groupe Vichten. On vous présente la pièce Trois blizzards. Ça a été composé lors de l'hiver 2015 où on a reçu 549 cm de neige. My name is Emmanuelle Leblanc, I'm part of Vichten, and we present to you Three Blizzards. It's in honor of the winter of 2015 where we had 549 centimeters of snow. Cette année marque le 300e de l'arrivée des premiers Français et Acadiens à l'île du Prince-Édouard. On vous invite à célébrer notre culture francophone qui est si unique, dynamique et pleine de joie de vivre. Soyez fiers de votre langue, votre culture et de qui vous êtes.
Let's all go to the snack bar. Let's all go to the snack bar. Let's all... Hey, remember that? Hi, everybody. My name is Lenny Gallant. I'm very happy to be here as part of this drive-in festival. I have a lot of fond memories going to the drive-in. In fact, I have a couple of very special memories going to the drive-in. But anyway, I hope you're all having a great time and you got lots of popcorn out there. I'm wondering just how many people out there actually have been to the drive-ins to watch movies in the past. Just if you've been to the drive-in to watch movies, honk your horn once. Cool. Now, I want you to honk your horn twice if you've ever actually snuck into the drive-in. Yeah, I'm guilty. I'm guilty, and I paid for it with mosquito bites, I'll tell you that. Yeah. I am very happy to be here, and we're going to do a song right now that I wrote in my hometown of Rustico at 6 o'clock in the morning, listening to a few fishing boats head out to sea. I like to think this song is about the ocean and about how we need to get more in tune with the ocean and have a more sustainable relationship with the ocean. This song is called Peter's Dream, and I'm very proud of the fact that this year it was inducted into the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame. I cannot tell you how much that means to me. You know, when we used to do the song live, we'd always get the audience to sing along on the chorus, just a few words to really punch it up and make it work. And I know you guys are all out there sitting in your cars, but I'm also pretty sure most of you are used to singing in your cars, so I really want to take advantage of that. And I want you to sing as loud as you can. Help us out on the chorus here. Please repeat after me. Sailing. That's pretty good, but I think it'd be even better maybe if you could hear each other. So I want you all to do this. Crack your window, knock your window down about at least 5 or 6 inches, and let's try this again, okay? So you can all hear each other. All right, everybody ready? Okay, all right, we're gonna blast this drive-in park. Sailing, Sea of Galilee, water, pull them in with me. You guys are fabulous. This is called Peter's Dream. An honor to be here playing for y'all. Take care of each other. I still get up before the day breaks. I still walk down to the shore. I watch the sunrise from the Eastern Ocean, but I don't sail to meet it anymore. How could they have let this happen? We saw it coming years ago. The greedy ships kept getting bigger and bigger, and the sonar told them where to go. Last night I dreamed that I was sailing out on the Sea of Galilee. We cast our nets upon the water, and Jesus pulled them in with me. Where am I gonna go now? What about this boat I own? What about this old piano? What about my father's bones? Last night I dreamed that I was sailing out on the Sea of Galilee. We cast our nets upon the water, and Jesus pulled them in with he did, you know he did. Someone sang an old sea shanty and Neely told a mainland joke. And Kelly cursed and swore till his voice gave out. Then he asked me for a smoke. And then he took his father's shotgun, walked to the harbor, through the town. He fired 14 times, woke everybody up. We all watched that boat go down. That night I dreamed that I was sailing out on the Sea of Galilee. We cast our nets upon the water, Jesus, hold the man with me. Come on, help us out now. That night I dreamed that I was sailing out on the Sea of Galilee. Let me hear ya. We cast our nets upon the water, and Jesus, hold the man with me. That night I dreamed that I was sailing out on the Sea of Galilee. Put your hands together. We cast our nets upon the water, Jesus, hold the man with me, yeah, hold the man with me, hold, you know he pulled the man with me, hold, yeah, he pulled the man with me, hold, yeah, he pulled the man with me. I still get up before the day breaks. I still walk down to the shore. I watch the sunrise from the eastern ocean, but I don't sail to meet it anymore.
Who plants the lupins? It's a question we get asked in visitor information centers. The answer? No one. They escaped the garden years ago. Now, lupins just need the right conditions. A passed-down seed, some unclaimed space to grow. So when people ask, how does a small island create so many entertainers? Perhaps the answer's somewhat the same. It's a matter of the right conditions, a passed-down seed, a family fiddle, a story that fetches a smile. Then, a bit of space to grow, long winters, patient audiences at the hall. Soon, you have color you can't believe, wildfire across every inch of the place.
A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Have you felt the maritimer's heartache? like a buoy floating lonely in the sea. For I know that there's an empty chair and a steaming pot of tea waiting in the Maritimes for me. I am lonely for the crashing of the combers